Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 1 consisting of Guren, Artemis, and Wayne. We present our team analysis of the current challenges facing Australian outdoors. We analyze the Power BI data, which comprise the sales figure, customer feedback, and complaint statistics, and employee survey and identify what is driving poor performance and how it affects the different stakeholders.
Good morning, leaders of Australian Outdoors. This executive summary presents the key findings and recommendations from our comprehensive review of your organisation's recent performance, which is based on detailed Power BI analysis of sales, customer feedback, and employee engagement data. In summary, all major departments have experienced notable sales decline from 2020 to 2023. For example, outdoor gear, your top performing department has dropped from 48 million to 32 million, while apparel and footwear sales fell by more than half. Our analysis reveals a strong link between internal culture and business outcomes, where the departments with the highest employee stress and lowest satisfaction scores are also those with the most customer complaints and lowest customer satisfaction scores. Critically, we have found a strong positive correlation between customer satisfaction and sales, confirming that employee experience does directly impact your bottom line. Employee engagement is also currently low, with average scores just above 5 out of 10, with some areas reporting stress levels as high as 8 out of 10. The apparel and footwear department faces particularly high turnover risk, which is driven by low morale and job satisfaction. These issues are not isolated to HR, they are strategic risks, contributing to rising operational costs and ultimately threatening the long term business value for Australian outdoors. However, to address these challenges, we recommend a focused three pronged approach. Firstly, we invest in a robust employee engagement program, which will introduce regular feedback, stress management, and targeted leadership development to build a more positive and productive workplace. Secondly, we will launch a rapid response customer service initiative with advanced training for frontline staff and a systematic analysis of complaints, which will aim to quickly restore customer satisfaction in key departments. Thirdly, we will reinvigorate product innovation by leveraging customer insights and market trends, ensuring your offerings remain competitive and aligned with evolving consumer needs. By prioritizing these areas, people, customer experience, and product leadership, Australian Outdoors can break the negative cycle, restore morale, recover lost market share, and reinforce its position as an industry leader. Thank you.
Let's begin with the sales data. From 2020 to 2023, all four major departments, outdoor gear, accessories and essentials, apparel and footwear, and seasonal and clearance, shows the clearest and steady declines. Outdoor gear, the highest earning department, fell from 48 millions to 32 millions, representing a 33% of drop. Apparel and footwear declined even more severely, from 50 millions to 7 million, losing more than half its revenue. This performance trend rising questions, so we cross-referenced the sales data with the customer satisfaction and complaint data from 2023. We found that the outdoor gear not only had the highest sales but also the highest number of complaints. There was 205 in total, making up 36% of the all complaints. At the same time, it averaged the customer satisfaction score was only 5.79 out of 10, the lowest amount of all departments. When we ran a present correlation analysis, the result confirmed the strong positive relation between the customer satisfaction and departmental sales. This means the department with the highest satisfaction score and significant better sales performance. It aligned with the surface quality theory, which suggests that good customer experience lead to repeat business, loyalty, and word of mouth recommendations. Next, we will explore the employee-related data using the 2023 voice survey. This result shows the employees are under the high pressure, with an average perceived stress score is 5.7 out of 10. Job satisfaction just only 5.8, which is relatively low. Some of the departments are even worse. Apparel and footwear scored only 5.06 on the job satisfaction. Also had one of the highest intention of to resign. This department also had the worst sales drop, suggesting to potential cycle between the low morale and poor performance. We also found that the average intention to leave is 4.19, and a strong collaboration was identified. In other words, the more stressed employee felt, the more likely they are considered leave their job. This patterns support the theories such as the JDR model, which focus on the job demand and resources, and Harsberg two factors theory, which explains how poor working conditions and lack of recognition lead to the dissatisfaction. Unsurprisingly, this internal dissatisfaction is impacting the customers. Departments with the highest employee stress and lowest satisfaction are also the one of receiving the most complaints and lowest customer feedback scores. This reinforces the ideas that a strong internal culture is critical to a positive customer experience. If frontline employees are burned out and disengaged, it directly affects how they serve customers. These challenges also affect managers. Operational costs are rising by as much as 30% to 40%, largely because of the frequent turnover, recruitment costs, lost productive, and poor post-hiring support. On top of that, management support word rate just 5.69 out of 10, showing that employees don't feel well supported by leadership, which affect dissatisfaction and stress. Lastly, investors and business owners are not immune to these issues. If these internal and customer-facing problems aren't resolved, we estimate a 10 to 15% decline in market share, which with customer attrition, rising costs, and the talent loss, the company's long-term value is under the real threat. In short, these are not isolated HR issues. There are strategic risks with the wide-reaching impact. To conclude, our indicate that Australian outdoor is experiencing the negative cycle. Employee stress leads to disengagement, resulting in poor service, unhappy customers, and decreasing sales and increasing costs. This all look back to more pressure to on staff and leadership. To turn this around, the company must start improving support, culture, and communication. That's the end of my section. Now I will pass to my teammate Artemis, who will talk through the impacts of the stakeholder predictions.
Thank you. Today I'll be sharing our key predictions for Australian outdoors, drawing on our latest data analysis and a wide range of HR and organisational research. Our data suggests that departments such as apparel and footwear could see turnover rates as high as 18 to 25% annually. This is driven by high stress, averaging 8 out of 10, and low job satisfaction, with some scores as low as 5 out of 10. This is supported by Baker and Demaruti, who explain through the job demand resource model that when job demands outweigh available resources, employees are more likely to experience burnout and leave. Additionally, Bria, Hubeck, and Dana et al. Showed that when recruitment messaging doesn't match the reality of the job, new hires can become disillusioned, leading to early exits and a cycle of rehiring and lost productivity. This is further reinforced by the person-organization fit theory, which states that a mismatch between personal and organizational values increases the likelihood of disengagement and turnover. Herzberg two-factor theory also clarifies that while salary and job security are important, motivators like recognition and opportunities for advancement are essential for retention. Our own data, showing a strong correlation between stress and intention to leave, aligns with these findings. Notably, satisfaction with team is lowest in apparel and the footwear department, at 4.64 out of 10, which is a strong predictor of disengagement and turnover, as supported by Nera al. And Yang et al. Turning to our customers, the analysis indicates a likely annual attrition of 15 to 20%, where customer satisfaction is the lowest, at 5.79 out of 10, and complaints are the highest, with 205 in 2023. According to Grunos and Bartram et al., disengaged employees and poor well-being directly undermine service quality, which in turn leads to negative customer experiences and a decline in repeat business. Our data reveals a strong positive correlation between customer satisfaction and sales, supporting the HR value chain perspective that employee experience is transmitted to customer outcomes and ultimately impacts organizational performance. This relationship is further reinforced by the PERMA model, which highlights that positive employee experiences are closely linked to customer satisfaction and loyalty. For management, the ongoing cycle of high turnover, onboarding, and lost productivity is predicted to increase operational costs by 30 to 40%. The Kirkpatrick model emphasizes that if post-hiring support and development are fragmented, training will not translate into improved performance. Vroom's expectancy theory also highlights that when rewards and career progression do not align with employee expectations, motivation and commitment decline. Our data on low managerial support at 5.69 out of 10 and declining sales reinforce these theoretical concerns. Bhatia and Perrier al. further support that a lack of visible and accessible leadership can worsen engagement and trust. This is consistent with findings from the Gallup 2023 report, which found that 23% of employees worldwide are engaged at work, and that disengagement is linked to higher costs and lower performance. If these issues are not addressed, we estimate that Australian outdoors could see a 10 to 15% decline in market capitalisation within 18 months. This scenario is supported by Dwalia al. and SSRN, who found that persistent HR risks and customer attrition can significantly erode company value. Mitchell et al. Warned that neglecting the needs of high-priority stakeholders such as customers and employees can threaten long-term viability, while Urich and Brockbank show that unresolved internal issues can directly harm external market performance. This risk is further heightened by the observed decline in sales and below-benchmark employee engagement scores across multiple departments. Our data and the literature point to a self-reinforcing cycle. Misaligned recruitment and poor employee experience drive high turnover, which in turn reduces customer satisfaction and loyalty, increasing operational strain for management and ultimately undermines investor confidence and company value. Breaking this cycle is essential for Australian Outdoors to maintain its leadership and fulfill its brand promise.
Thank you, Artie. As HR specialists dedicated to helping organizations thrive, we have carefully reviewed your recent data and are here to partner with you in addressing the challenges currently facing Australian Outdoors. We recognize your brand's legacy of quality and innovation, but we also see the warning signs, for example, the declining employee engagement and productivity, the rise in customer complaints, as well as early indications of eroding market share. These are critical issues, but with targeted action, they are absolutely addressable. Let's start with employee engagement and productivity. Our analysis shows an average engagement score of just 5.27 out of 10, with perceived stress at 5.0 and intention to leave at 4.19. What is particularly concerning is the apparel and footwear and accessories and essentials department, where job and team satisfaction are below 5.1 compared to seasonal and clearance, which are above 6.7. The data analysis is clear, displaying low engagement and high stress, leading to higher turnover and lower productivity, which is ultimately impacting your customer experience and business results. Here's what we recommend: launching a targeted engagement program focused on the departments with the lowest satisfaction. We will then establish regular feedback loops, which will introduce stress management workshops and implement recognition programs to celebrate achievements as well. We will also equip your managers whose satisfaction scores are only at 5.69 with the training and tools to foster a more supportive, to lead, and to a high-performing team. Lastly, we will also use pulse surveys to monitor progress and continuously adapt your approach. Now, let's address the customer experience. Customer complaints have risen to nearly 45 per period, with over a third coming from apparel and footwear, where satisfaction is just 4.3, much lower than the other departments. This signals an urgent need for action. To tackle this, we propose conducting a root cause analysis in the most affected areas, empowering frontline staff with advanced training, and establishing a rapid response team for complaints. These steps go beyond simply reducing complaint numbers. By systematically identifying and eliminating recurring issues, we can prevent future dissatisfaction and reduce operational disruptions. Equipping staff with advanced skills will enable them to resolve complex issues confidently and empathetically, increasing first contact resolution and building genuine trust with customers. A dedicated rapid response team will ensure urgent problems are addressed swiftly, turning negative experiences into opportunities for loyalty and advocacy. Collectively, these measures will not only improve customer satisfaction scores, but also foster repeat business and positive word of mouth, directly supporting our revenue recovery and strengthening the long-term resilience of the Australian Outdoors brand. Finally, to reclaim market share and sustain growth, apparel and footwear's market share has slipped to 16.5%, with sales dropping from 12 million in 2021 to just 7 million in 2023. Even outdoor gear, though still leading, is trending downwards, a clear signal that this is a pivotal moment for the company. Our advice is to reinvest in product innovation and quality, particularly in underperforming categories, and to leverage customer feedback to guide both product development and marketing. By differentiating your offerings through a clear commitment to sustainability, durability, and style, values that resonate with your core audience, You will not only address current gaps but also create a compelling reason for customers to choose Australian Outdoors over competitors. This approach will enable the company to respond proactively to shifting market expectations, foster deeper brand loyalty, and unlock new growth opportunities. By aligning innovation with customer values and market insights, Australian Outdoors can rebuild its competitive edge and ensure long term resilience. In conclusion, our three-pronged approach is clear. Invest in employee engagement where morale and retention are at risk, rapidly address customer pain points in the most affected departments, and innovate and reposition your product lines to recapture market share and reinforce your brand promise. By actively acting decisively in these areas, Australian Outdoors will not only overcome current challenges but also return to a path of sustainable growth and industry leadership.